well go Viego in response. So the Xin kind of early pick from Xerxe does give him some stability, some early playmaking options, but I don't think it's going to hinder 100 Thieves at all.
Curious if 100 Thieves is going to put priority on a Thresh here. You often see something like Thresh paired with Aphelios, so oftentimes considering we also get those supports and AD carries picked in the first half, I wonder if we're going to get that. We will get the Ryze. Remember, that was banned out last time, so we will get to see it this time. And there it is. Hey, the answer, just like you talked about. Zhao, closer's happy to play the Viego.
Yeah, it's a really fun matchup to me because whoever gets the lead then has dominance in the 1v1 and can push the other out. Viego does have execution damage and Xin doesn't have escape, so a lot of times if there's any sort of early lead for Viego, it can get kind of scary for him. But if Xin, as expected, is able to get the early lead, and especially with a Syndra mid having a very devastating 2v2, could definitely snowball his way. Ryze, though, the reason it's been so prioritized and has been often first banned instead of even let through to the picks phase here is because of the importance of roaming right now. There's a lot of difficulties in coming up with the answer to Ryze. Even like some of the old school picks like Cassio or something being thrown around in some of the Champions Queue games, but being able to push and roam early on for Ryze and being able to have Realm Warp for these side lanes has been really, really big in snowballing a lot of these games. Plus, he has the flexibility. You can go still damage build Ryze. You don't have to go with the tank Ryze Fimbulwinter, but Fimbulwinter tank is very good, especially when you've got a carry jungler on your team.
And of course, when Ryze is that popular, when he's so useful in the meta, it makes sense to pick him even before the second part of the bans come through or whatever. And then Immortals felt the need to answer that, lest the mid pool get pinched even further. So we still have mirrored picks, just different roles from what we got in game number 1. Support pools, both being zeroed in on now since neither team has drafted that role. Nautilus banned out by Immortals. Lulu banned out by 100 Thieves. Leona banned out by Immortals. Are we going to get 4 out of 4 support bans here in the second half? What do you think?
Yes! I put all my money on yes.
Okay. What's it going to be? Double or nothing?
Well, we did get a touch on Janna already. I'll put my money on. I'll put my money on the Janna.
Oh, Flash instead.
Dude,
okay,
yeah,
so
I feel
Cody
like
goes bankrupt.
I feel like I feel like Janna's getting ignored, overly ignored early this weekend. I still think she's quite good.
Well,
especially because she just works so well with Glacial Augment, but is going to be ignored this game as well. Yeah, Thresh got the ban. Tahm Kench gets the pick very quickly here. You have 2 low mobility carries. Can be used here to save people when Viego goes for the execute and deny those resets. So the Tahm Kench is a big pick in response to Closer himself on one of his most feared picks.
Okay, what'll the lock-in be here? 100 Thieves, Sett locked in. Now, I'm thinking this is a potential support set.
Yeah, for sure. This is Huhi. Not only is Sett good into other melee carries like Tahm Kench, I don't know about the balance after Tahm Kench's recent buffs. He's actually very good bullying melee, so we'll have to get a strength check update on this matchup. But Huhi, I don't know how many times I've said this, but my favorite moment in Huhi's career was after switching from mid lane Aurelion Sol aficionado down to support. His biggest carry games from support role were on the early Sett days, and his Hex Flash plays and his proactive playmaking with FBI. I was just so completely impressed and blown away as far as one of the first supports in the LCS to pick up Sett in the first place. Very happy to see him back on it, and this is another Sett game this year for him, so I have full confidence in him on the champion and in the matchup.
Well, the last 2 picks that we got to see from the teams here were our top laners. It'll be Renekton locked in blind for 100 Thieves. The response from Immortals is the Graves. Now in game number 1...
No Quinn, man.
Game number 1, we got to see Renekton have a very strong early start into a whole lot of nothing. How are we feeling about the Renekton pick into this game? Obviously, you're not having to deal with the Smite roaming top laner or anything, but Graves is pretty strong, man.
Yeah, I actually quite like Renekton into this.
Okay.
Graves is very versatile, and you can control the wave super well. But let me remind you, this is Ssumday. He is literally one of the most famous Renekton players in the world. He made his early career in LCK on Renekton. One of his most played champions still to this day. And so this game is actually turning into iconic champions for these players. We've got Huhi's Sett, we have Ssumday's Renekton, we have PowerOfEvil's Syndra, his second most played champion of his entire career. One of the champions that he gave TSM a hard time with way back in the day as well. A lot of history here. So I really like when we get these specific players on their iconic champions.
Closer
Viego, all of these things coming through, in the picks for this game. You really, when you get to associate yourself with I know pocket pick is kind of a meme because of the
Hey, I will tell you that being associated with a champion is very fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I've got the perfect co-caster for this one, because we've got some good ones here. I still see who he is, the Aurelion Soul guy, but as support, Sett is the one for me. So,
well, we've got both our supports running Ignite this game. Plenty of kill potential there. WildTurtle does have the cleanse versus the heal because, honestly, you have lots of CC threats on that enemy team for a Jinx.
Faceplant, as we were saying, Huhi, mechanics on the Sett, great, but the a little bit close to the wall there gets pushed right back through. If you get it 50% over the midpoint in a wall, it'll bounce through to the other side. But,
just like placing a ward.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Meanwhile,
let's see what we got. Huhi and FBI are positioned in the forwardmost brush here. Xerxe is going to see Abbeddage, or is he? Okay, nope. Abbeddage is right there inside the brush. They're thinking, okay, maybe this is a trap. Maybe this is bad news. Revenge will step forward. He will not get to put a free auto attack into Ssumday there, but he will see that the blue buff will not be started on.
See, that's the difference between pro play and solo queue. Solo queue, both of them are into that brush.
Yup.
Dive bomb this guy. Get this Ryze. We see him by himself. I don't know where everybody else is. Let's go.
Yeet. Go get him, but not this time. No, sir. We're in competitive play instead, so our jungler's going to be starting on opposite sides, both no leash.
I don't know if that bodes well for our bloodthirsty call, asking for a lot of action for this game.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The first opportunity is bypassed, but bottom side push does go to the Immortals here with Jinx rockets coming through. FBI should be fine to heal up off the wave, but both supports holding until now their execution Targon stacks. Destiny uses both to move it on up, and they should secure themselves. Yep, level 2, no problem.
And speaking of level 2, Ssumday uses the chance to just immediately go in, but Revenge does a nice job getting the attacks on the back end of it there. Empties 2 reloads worth of shots into him there, and Ssumday's way worse for wear.
Certainly is, but he's got the Doran shield start for the Renekton, so you're making the most of the regeneration, even when you're getting low life there. Still has a potion for himself as well, but Destiny...
Oh, Destiny goes in, but he won't find the knockup. Does get the heal out of FBI for that little bit of extra move speed to make sure he evades the knockup. So good job getting the summoner spell out there. Closer's up top, but Revenge is not going to be far forward enough for him to find anything really to do here. So Closer right back down into the river. Scuttle Crabs aren't ready yet, so he just has to go back to his normal farm path.
Yeah, they had a ping there on Closer. I believe Revenge's ward just expired that saw him. So good defensive posturing here from Revenge. Able to back off, knows that Closer was just around, so Revenge playing it well, trying to waste as much opponent jungle time as you possibly can, while remaining out of reach of a kill threat for the jungle. Passes by another one here on his way to the Scuttle Crab, and that'll just get traded out, no problem. What I really want to see, though, is jungle action around mid, because Syndra, Ryze both have good setup. Both of these jungles are very good.
Escape.
Yeah, very good follow-up. Good setup and no escape.
They can both dish it, but they can't take it. That means it's a jungle type of lane, my friend. We're all too familiar with that sort of scenario.
Exactly. This is, especially for solo queue, that's how you just evaluate your whole game for the early stages. You're loading into champ select. You're just like, who can we kill? Who's not getting away? Abbeddage, though, dodges out on the stun, so both of them are going to be fine. Not a lot of kill threat anymore because they both use so much of their mana focusing on the wave, and we'll get the resets.
Kind of hard to set up a kill when your mage can't do anything but auto attack for 60 damage over and over again, just throwing little orbs at him. But Destiny in some trouble down here bottom side. Haymaker comes out, hits him with the sweet spot, but he knew he wasn't in danger of dying. No reason to use any summoner spells on that one. Ssumday jumping in here after Revenge, just finds the initial burst and walks back away, trying to take these short patterns and utilize the fact that he still had minions there, so when Revenge tried to get any auto attacks on the back end, they would be intercepted. Remember, Graves a unique champion in the fact that minions can block those.
Yeah, I think Ssumday's doing a lot of little things really well. You know, possibly blocking some damage for minions. Also, he utilized the time where Closer moved up towards topside and we're pretty sure got seen by an expiring ward very effectively, because while Revenge was able to back off and not succumb to a gank there, Ssumday still made him pay in a few CS at the tower as he's trying to play safely, and try and get himself up to the point where he can go for this kill threat on the Graves, looking for the level 6.
Yep.
He's constantly looking for these slice and dice trades, fully charged up. Rage, and here comes
And
Closer.
there you go, Ssumday with the flash, and he gets the heal as well from the Q. Closer's ready to clean it up, mop and bucket. First blood over to 100 Thieves, but Immortals now looking to get something back themselves. PowerOfEvil and Destiny trying to work together to find Abbeddage, but some nice fancy feet just steps out of the way.
100 Thieves looking clean in this early game, Flowers. This
Yes,
is we're
sir.
talking up Ssumday. He perfectly baits in Revenge, waits, fully charged up Rage Bar, flashes in as Closer comes for the repeat, who also flashes to secure this. The timing is just so good. Ssumday starts communicating very, very early. Let's see at the point between going for Gromp, you can tell on the minimap, okay, he's coming now. So he's like, hey, wave is pushing. I'm going to take some early damage. Walks through. Hey, I'm baiting him. I've got flash. By this time, he's dead. Revenge is dead. Closer comes up, has the flash, goes for the stun. Ssumday also knowing his margins so well there with the heal. That one cut it real close, but that's what you get when you've got
Unironically
almost
calculated.
1,000, Renekton games over the course of your career. So good combination between the top and jungle, but then also Abbeddage, just as impressive escape in the 3v1 with the fancy footwork. With our German mid laners going head to head in this matchup. Abba gets the dodge. He is losing out on a bit of CS because he got chased all the way down to Kruggyville, but didn't die.
Kruggyville.
Nobody wants to go to Kruggyville. Junglers even sometimes don't like going to Kruggyville. It's
It
far
takes
away.
so long to kill him, and they're in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Kruggyville's got some good gold in it, though. It's got good golden experience if you make your way there. It's just that the journey is so long. It feels far away from everything.
It's like one of those gold rush towns, like back in the Wild West or whatever.
Yeah.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, but there's gold in them Nar hills, so go anyway.
There's gold in Krugville.
Well, we've got plenty of gold here in the hands of 100 Thieves, who are up about 700 after grabbing themselves that first blood there in the top lane. Ssumday rushing towards those plated steel caps. We know how important Boots Rush is in a range versus melee matchup. Down here on bottom side, Huhi doing a good job there again with the face breaker. You already mentioned he knows how to play this champion against those stuns, and in Destiny knows how to set it up to kill FBI. The man died with the flash, still ready to go. Immortals win a 2v2 bot side.
That's what we need to see from this team. Immortals have lost 6 games in a row this year. They need a win on the board. They would love nothing more than to do it against the defending champions, the 2-0 currently 100 Thieves. And it coming from the bottom lane is big. This is something people expected a lot of coming into this year, because Turtle actually, despite the failures of CLG last year, had quite a good individual performance in some of these micro situations when you're dissecting VODs and trying to look for positives in a kind of desolate year for the team. So happy to see Destiny come up. Really good Tahm Kench usage there with the re-engage on the W. He zoned upwards FBI, so even though FBI had flash, they still get the kill on him. Turtle gets excited. They get some gold on the right places for themselves. Maybe they can use this to change their fates so far this year in the LCS.
Turtle back underneath the turret for now, though. FBI fires off the ulti, but does not land that one. Misses the Q here as well, so Turtle's health bar not under any big threat just yet. But it is 100 Thieves moving into the enemy jungle. The blue buff is up. Closer and Abbeddage working to take that one away. Remember, their own blue buff is currently on Abbeddage, so Closer will be fine just smiting this one away to guarantee that they're able to secure it. But now with Huhi coming up, Destiny's the man in trouble. He tries to get away, but he's pulled right back in. Get over here. Closer picks up the kill.
Oh, it is a scary thing when Closer's Viego starts to get kills, Flowers. Remember Champ Select, and we talk about this matchup with Zin. that gets really, really dangerous now for Xerxe.
Oh boy.
He's going to find himself defending this tower in the 2v3. Looks like as soon as 100 Thieves see that, though, you know, they decide not to risk it here. No reason to overexert themselves. They walk away. Closer's got a bounty on his head already as well, so don't want to be giving that up.
If that was just a Jinx, that's 300 gold for free, right? But as soon as his Zhao's there, you know it's going to get sloppy. It's going to get messy. Up here in top lane, Ssumday and Revenge. Ssumday's still about, what is that, 1 wave ahead of his opponent. So into the Graves matchup, you're happy with that. Still has that 1 assist from earlier here too.
Yeah, and by the way, just a little tack on to the bottom play. We should be complimenting Immortals in those situations where you deny that play.
Yeah.
You know, and calling Xerxe down, and just the little defensive opportunities where they are able to play it. They recognize the danger here. Xerxe hugged the wall also. You can tell the whole time as he's moving up, the positioning, you stay away from that tri-brush. You don't want to let them jump out at you. And so those little things make the earlier play not so bad for the bottom lane. And yet you're still left in a scenario where it's pushing out against you. You don't have any deep vision, and you know that Closer still has ult flash on Viego.
And especially being good at that, considering the context of what we're looking for from this team, right? It feels like for Immortals, the comms have been falling apart. People aren't on the same page. Well, this is saying, all right, we did the homework. We know what we're supposed to be doing. We're getting everybody on the same page, coordinated. And that's exciting for me to see because it means that they've recognized sort of what these problems are, they're working to fix them, and they can work towards actually being able to find these wins. However, things are still pretty tough here. It's a 1,500 gold lead for the side of 100 Thieves. Second Drake of the game is alive. Immortals got the first one, but it was just the Cloud Drake, and it's 100 Thieves with control over the bot side river. Look at the vision in this river from the blue side here. Immortals will summon up the Rift Herald in mid lane. They're going to get the 2 plates with that, but not much more. Abbeddage doing plenty of damage to the Herald here. One more auto attack on the eye kills it. And nobody's starting up that Drake just yet. Still control for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Abba's been a popular boy. Bottom lane, though, for 100 Thieves with the 3-person pressure again. They want to just cut off this only avenue of a lead that Immortals had opened up with their 2v2 kills. With the constant return of pressure, they keep on zoning out and trying to take away any of the advantage that Turtle and Destiny had built up. Meanwhile, Immortals spent a lot of resources towards mid. There were multiple times, 3-person pass to try and deny Abba these roam timers. Dragon, though, 1,500 counting.
Here we go. Xerxe decides to jump in. Abbeddage is the target, but he disengages. The Drake down to 100 HP, and Closer's going to take that one. Now Xerxe has to try to get away, but Zhao has a tough time doing it. Has to flash, stays alive, but Immortals still lose out on the objective.
Yeah, that is a terrible sign when you have your jungler on the Dragon the whole time. So it's effectively a 3v4, and you're getting chased out of the river and bullied through. You know, that charge in there from Xerxe, now he doesn't have ult or flash either. Right. So if you ever are within range of Closer, of Viego, you die. Good flash from Abba.
Ooh, yeah, nicely done.
But he
there.
doesn't know.
Xerxe's ready to go after him, though. Wants to get away with a realm warp, and he does it. Goodness gracious, that was close.
This is the best looking 0-0. Never mind. Turtle from downtown, baby. He's still got it.
Oh my goodness, that's what you love to see. If you're Immortals at least, nice shot from WildTurtle.
Abba just finished off his perfect 8 out of 10, maybe 9 even. We go real high on the Olympic score there. Escape out of mid lane with that realm warp.
Wait, what's the perfect 8 out of 10? Perfect 8?
I said, it's a perfect 8, you know? You can have a perfect 8, a perfect 9.
Perfect 10.
No, you can have a perfect 8. Just go with it.
Okay, all right. Perfect 8.
Perfect looking 8.
Perfect 8 until the rocket arrived. And then there were problems.
You can have like an 8, an 8.1, 8.2.
I have never heard of
8.3. So an 8.3 is an imperfect 9. How about that?
Dude, this is getting too complicated. No, this is way too close to math. I'm not doing this. Okay, anyway, we got PowerOfEvil. He's gonna yoink away the Scuttle Crab. My crab now. And I always hate playing against Syndras because of this reason. They are adept at stealing
like
Scuttle Crab.
Yoink your lunch money?
Yeah, I like being able to get the crab. Not have Syndra just steal it away. Anyway, Closer's still hanging out down here on bottom side. Remember, this bottom lane tier 1, man, it is so close to falling over. Turret plates are gone, so there's no extra protection there. Top side here, a bit more of a scuffle between our top laners. Ssumday still always, this goes back to what you were talking about. He's so experienced in this champion. He's never just going to sit back and let Revenge just run the lane. He'll always look for those windows whenever he gets them.
Yeah, I mean, when you play a single champion that much over your career, you have so much muscle memory, you have so much feel for how much damage you can give, how much damage you can take, even though it has gone through patch changes and varies obviously with items as well. Just really nice to see. And that's why we enjoy the fact about this game where there's so many of those champion player combinations on display for us. WildTurtle on his Jinx, which you can debate whichever is your WildTurtle pairing for a champion, but the Jinx, he has stolen so many Barons, Dragons, giant objectives, and gotten sniped kills,
Kill snipes,
which we all saw in this game. So again, that proficiency really does come up when we see some of these players that, while yes, they are technically older, they also show plays like that, which have a lot of value.
Speaking of value, Revenge with that first item hull breaker here on the Graves means that in these split push scenarios, he's going to feel plenty strong, especially at taking the turrets. But we'll see how the team fights look as Immortals are going after the Herald, but 100 Thieves are ready to try to stop them. Bringing in multiple bodies from both teams. Ssumday's none of the fight, but Revenge is. Now they're going to try to make that play here onto Huhi. He's brought right back into everybody, goes for the Haymaker, stays alive with a shield. Revenge dashing back over the wall, staying alive there. Xerxe is going to grab the Herald, and now they're going in after Closer. Rift Herald Eye still on the ground. Nice two-man stun coming out, and the Ruined King goes down. Ssumday tries to get away. He'll be taken pretty low. They can't find another kill here. Nicely played there from Immortals.
Massive from Immortals, and they get to push out as well. This mid turret is so low. Only FBI is going to be able to defend here against PowerOfEvil. When you've got blue buff on Syndra too, he can even threaten at the tower. Took a tower shot there because he got some harassment down. And doesn't have the backup of the rest of the squad. Immortals, though, it's still such a huge team fight for this game because they also got the Rift Herald. So here's a look at the initiation. I popped again, gets chunked down, Graves smoke screen, and being up against the wall did so much. But then Huhi goes for the initiation. They've got the outside coming here. FBI, even with the white gun stacked up, they aren't able to pin down Revenge in the back. Xerxe gets the kill onto the Rift Herald. They force them through with a split because Destiny chases them off to the other side, but now Destiny's gonna get chased himself.
Talking about Destiny, man. Wrong place, wrong time. Nice capitalization coming out from 100 Thieves, but now Closer's got to get away. Uses the ulti reset to get back over the wall and stay alive. 5 seconds left until the Drake spawns. It's a 5v4 map state for the side of 100 Thieves. And Revenge and Xerxe both stepping forward. Got to be careful around this zone, though.
Yeah, that was such a huge pick. The timing on Destiny earns you a dragon. Getting that kill off of your reset was so big for 100 Thieves. Very smart to get to the river first. These are why the rewards and why coaches always emphasize getting there early matters so much, because even though Immortals win that Rift Herald team fight, the reset earlier from 100 Thieves, being in the brush when Destiny comes through to try and get vision for Immortals, means that they get the trade objective. They get the dragon entirely off of picking off that support. And 100 Thieves bounce right back. So that's dragon number 2. They continue stacking.
And Immortals are going to respond by taking down a turret there in the top lane, using the power of that Herald that they won in the fight beforehand. So that'll bring the gold back a little bit closer, but it is still a lead for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and they're trying to open up.
Oh, nice stun. Xerxe tries to use the ulti to defend, but both of these guys are still in melee range. It's not blocking anything. Destiny gobbles him up, tries to get him away to safety. But now you got the Realm Warp coming in for a little bit more backup. Abbeddage, he's going to root Destiny. Can't get away from that one. Destiny's stuck in the river, and 100 Thieves beat him down. But now the problem is they're going to trade support for support. WildTurtle steps out of the way of the root here from the Everfrost. Abbeddage drops. Ssumday's here in the middle of everybody. He's going to grab the kill into PowerOfEvil as Xerxe tries to get away, but FBI has arrived. Closer grabs another as Revenge dashes over the wall, and it's 3 for 2 for 100 Thieves. Closer ain't done yet.
Oh!
Here comes the slam. Here comes the kill for the Ruined King.
This man is too good, Flowers. Closer is picking up right where he left off in the finals. Honestly, stellar performance. charges onto the Raptor to get range for the W. Turtle doesn't flash the W. If you don't flash the W, then you're already dead because the slow lands, the damage chunk is there. Closer is going to be able to follow up, gains the distance with the ultimate into the W for the Spectral Maw. That was just so well played by Closer, but should have just resulted in a flash. Anyways, here's the early pick where they gain some of the momentum, and you look at the mini-map in these situations to see, as the team is converging, what are they buying time for? Aphelios actually just had to flash off screen to the 1v1 from WildTurtle. So WildTurtle got excited off that turret, forced the flash from Aphelios. He joins first, so you think that Immortals have the advantage, but Aphelios then can join from the backside, and they get the big chunk down there. Ssumday picks up the kill, and since Closer can reset, he comes out of the body, instantly stuns with Syndra, picks up the Zhao body, then you can charge to the chicken just to get distance. He hits the W onto Turtle. Gotta flash those Ws.
Yep. Turtle thought he might be able to walk it away, but the range on Wind Becomes Lightning is so far. Tough to deal with.
Sometimes, like, you don't give enough credit to the threat of this ability if you see the Xin already use charge. Because if it's just a Xin, then the Xin can't close that distance. But he's not a Xin, he's a Viego!
That's
holding
Viego
his body!
Playing Xin.
Exactly, so he can then just ult and Spectral Maw. Closer's playing Xin and Viego. Just better.
Well, Closer is 5-1-2, man. He has the Divine Sunderer. He has the Blade of the Ruined King, his namesake item. If this dude is able to free hit somebody, they're gonna die. Because when we're looking at the itemization on the enemy team, in terms of defenses, it's health. And then it's also health. The front line, the Graves and the Zhao and the Tahm Kench, they've got health. And Blade of the Ruined King is exceptional at killing that. It's armor that would normally be able to mitigate some of that, but there's not a ton of it available yet.
You guys can't see at home, but Flowers right now explaining health to me every time he turns. He is the picture of that History Channel meme.
The alien.
Exactly.
Health.
That is Flowers right now. Health.
Well, that's all there is. There's only health.
That was perfect. That was perfect. We're also gonna have a dragon soon, and it is a mountain dragon, which gives shields if you get the soul.
No, he's doing it.
So number 3 getting a soul point will be huge here. 400 Thieves, but it is Immortals into the river first, so they get the priority on Vision.
All right, Immortals trying to control this. They don't want to allow 100 Thieves to get that soul point, especially with the jungler being so strong like this. 100 Thieves is stepping in, though. It's Abbeddage leading the charge, now backing up a little bit. Destiny keeping WildTurtle alive, but now Huhi's pulled Revenge right back in. He's going to have to flash away. PowerOfEvil looking for the stun, but he won't find it. Immortals does not get a punch back. Some injured health bars on either side. Revenge and Turtle both with a chunk out. Abbeddage at about half. Huhi has no ulti here. FBI at 200 HP. Barely getting away from that as PowerOfEvil used the ulti to take him low. 100 Thieves still hanging around. They've still got Closer at full, but he has no smite to try to steal this away yet. That is still cooling down. Now they're going to force another flash. Immortals doing a good job chasing 100 Thieves away. Immortals now going after the Drake. 100 Thieves has conceded this objective. It's not worth fighting over. Drakes are going to be tied 2-2.
Range can win you games, Flowers.
Yeah.
Really good poke there from Immortals. Getting health bar chunks, getting summoner spells blown, all just from landing your skill shots here. Huge plays there from Immortals, bullying it out, bringing this back to 2 dragons to 2. Still within reach here of the 100 Thieves. Even though Closer is on fire, he's got a bounty on his head. So you got to, there are a couple different chants. Last time we talked about, typing in team chat, we're just scaling. You're also, pinging bounties is a viable strat here and is critical, especially when it's a carry champ like Viego. Trying to hit a Syndra stun on him.
Ooh, and look at the chunk. Closer just kaboom. As soon as Syndra kicks that orb into him, 1/3 HP gone.
Exactly. Syndra, one of the best champs at picking up those bounties. And again, if Immortals can continue to use their range effectively and start a fight out that way, if you burst him down, you get not only a big bounty of gold back for you, but you take out the biggest threat and leverage yourself towards an objective.
Ssumday trying to go in on Revenge here in the bottom side. This 1v1. He's got the black cleaver so he can get those stacks, shred through some of the armor on the hull breaker and on the plated steel caps. Ssumday just continuing to try to apply that pressure. Both these guys at about half HP. Revenge goes back into the jungle. He'll just use the Gromp to heal up there. A little bit of a gas station fill up. Just go ahead, get the extra HP back, right back into lane. There's that ward there that spots Ssumday, still maybe looking for something here. Remember, both these guys have their ultis ready. However, Revenge is not going to put himself in a spot where Ssumday can cut him off. He'll just back right on away.
Yeah, honestly, Black Cleaver is the perfect buy against Graves. You shred the armor and you get the move speed. You see all these chases, these little trades that Ssumday goes for. He's constantly playing an aggressive crocodile. This is not a tame crocodile.
No. This is not a crocodile in the zoo. This is a crocodile in the wild, in the river, munching on what do crocodiles eat? Like gazelles.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure they eat any sort of meat.
I don't think a crocodile could eat a hippo because a hippo's bigger.
Okay, they could eat a hippo's meat, though, if the hippo's meat was there for the taking.
Like eat a hippo's leg or something? Okay, yeah, sure.
If
I
it's
guess
detached from the hippo.
Okay, this is getting kind of morbid. I guess. I was just going to say crocodile chomp is not as big as a hippo chomp because a hippo is bigger.
Yeah.
So in a battle of chomp,
I have always been told that hippos are super dangerous, and yet I'm not scared of hippos at all.
Dude, why are you not scared of hippos? They could chomp you in half.
Probably because of that Child's Game, Hungry Hippos.
Oh, yeah, dude, that game, maybe that game prepared us for being shoutcasters because it's like the loudest thing in existence. So even when we're at a 10 out of 10, we're not as loud as Hungry Hippos.
I see.
My mom hated that game. Whenever I would play it, I was only allowed to play it for like 10 minutes because it's so loud.
Is it a perfect 10?
Yeah, no, it was a perfect 8. Perfect 8. Anyway, Immortals are setting up around Baron here, trying to get control over the topside river. Ssumday and Revenge. It just never stops with this scrapping down here in the bottom lane. We're never really seeing anybody get close to dead, but there's always threat from either side.
And that is important that it never stops because that is how Ssumday is keeping the threat there. He himself has been able to earn a gold bounty because of the extra kills that he's picking up moving towards these objectives. Renekton does provide CC. You know, yes, the smoke screen can be used effectively in some scenarios and is one of the most annoying abilities, but flash stuns.
Ooh! Shield from Huhi there. Absorbs most of the Super Mega Death Rocket. Turtle gets rooted up. But man, Huhi nearly getting picked off.
Yep, strongest tool here for Immortals is this range. PoE, Syndra, second most played champion of all time throughout his entire career. Keeps on fishing around, finding these stuns, and Turtle being able to follow up. Him on this Jinx this game has been quite good. So Immortals carries want this win, Flowers. They're poking out 100 Thieves members left and right, trying to get some advantages for their team, trying to get the setup. 1 minute on Dragon on the clock means this is where you recall to get your control wards. I want to see control wards through these inventories locked up so that you can set up properly for this one and make use of your biggest advantage here. Biggest win condition for them is trying to land some of that poke on either closer. Honestly, though, any of the frontline members would be big, juicy targets to get an early health lead on.
Absolutely. Immortals with 30 seconds left. PowerOfEvil will teleport into the mid lane. The bottom side river, they've got that scuttle crab vision, but that's about it for the Immortals side. 100 Thieves has been in here in the past 20 or 30 seconds, clearing out the vision that was there, placing down some of their own, and now the ward battles are going to begin. Huhi is here in the brush. They've got wards all around him just in case there's any sort of a play to be made here. He has the flash, he has the ulti ready here on the Sett. Let's see where Immortals want to approach from. Revenge separated from the rest of the team while everybody else will come from the mid lane. Huhi goes over the wall and he just finds Revenge. The smoke screen immediately right on top of his head. Revenge now has to be aware of Closer's presence. Closer and Huhi are cut off from the rest of their squad. Abbeddage approaching from the left, but all of Immortals will zone him away. The Drake has been started up. 100 Thieves are onto that one. It's FBI and Ssumday. Closer's also got to get closer to that one. Xerxe's ready to come in and maybe smite fight for this. He jumps into the middle, but it's going to be secured by FBI. 100 Thieves, they grab the objective, but Huhi's already down. 5v4 on the map, but the Drake goes the way of 100 Thieves. What can Immortals get from this? There are pings onto the Baron pit.
Yeah, that was a quick sacrifice. Huhi ults him out, but immediately, where'd that set go? Deleted in the animation. So while you do get the dragon, what did we give up, Flowers?
That is the question, my friend.
I'll give you a hint. It tastes purple.
It tastes purple, but can 100 Thieves stop it? The Baron already down to 4,000. Closer has no smite. Even for a smite fight, it will not be there. Xerxe's taking the damage. FBI providing the lockdown. Immortals trying to scramble and fight. Abbedaga's gonna drop. However, they've also lost PowerOfEvil on the side of IMT. Xerxe's gonna be taking low, double kill back over to Closer. Ssumday now on top of WildTurtle. 100 Thieves slam them into the ground with an ace from FBI.
Woo! 100 Thieves are gonna be happy with that one, Flowers. Baron buff, soul point, everything in their pockets. Yeah.
What did it cost them, Kobe? It cost them throwing Immortals into a bamboozle.
They stopped that cost at Huhi's life. That was such a valiant sacrifice. In the end, you know, let's take a look at it. Flip the switch replay here, come in a little bit slow. How'd they get such a great initiation? Instant Zhonyas by so much time, and FBI is firing during the time that supports it, and then Closer flashes to the back line to pick up the kill and the reset. Then charging through FBI, nobody can get on him. Ssumday and Closer do so much insane work creating space for him. He even flashes to the other side of Ssumday so that Graves' bullets can't get through, even though he goes down in the end. Absolute monstrous play from the frontliners there. Ssumday and Closer demolish this team fight. Ssumday with the stopwatch, then Closer flashing into the backline to get the first kill and reset.
FBI's guns also swapped. He went into that fight with blue gun and purple gun. He exhausts the purple bullets halfway through, gets red for a little bit of extra sustain and fighting to keep him alive till the end. Team comes in and backs him up. Beautifully done stuff. And once again, we are left with an eternal question, my friend. How the hell does Closer keep getting Viego?
So, this one might confuse people for a long time to come. But I would also remind you that if you go back to finals, he absolutely stomped them on Lee Sin as well. This man is just a good jungler. Yes, Viego is a very snowbally jungler, and when you crush people, it will have a tendency to go legendary.
But Xerxe has to use the ulti to stay alive there. Closer also very low. Super Mega Death Rocket not going to find a cleanup kill here this time. 100 Thieves, though, trying to really push this lead.
But I would also agree with you. He's also just overly disgusting on this champion. So
very, very good. Very, very good.
This does bring up a good meta point, though.
All right, what do you got?
Red side has been more solidified in bans over the last couple of weeks. I want to see if 12-3 really rocks that much at all. But since you have to ban, or theoretically have to ban Gwen and Xerxe, and then have either some sort of plan to deal with, you know, Caitlyn, Karma, bottom lane range situations, or ban them out, your red side bans get really stacked up quickly, so you don't get the luxury of banning out people's iconic champions. And then you end up with games like this, where you have so many players on their iconic champions, and you're thinking, wow, just ban Closer's Viego. But what if Xerxe was in this game, you know, and what if he's, you know, playing jungle Xerxe, actually? Closer, you didn't think I was going to take that turn,
no,
did you?
I did not think that is the direction that we were going, my friend, but hey. All right, I'm on board. Let's see it. Anyway.
What's the greater evil here, I guess, is always what you have to ask yourself.
Sir, we live in a world, we live in the timeline where Smite Janna top. We are in the evil world.
Point.
We're in now. We're lost in the sauce right now.
That's a pretty great evil.
Anyway, we've got some turrets being taken topside here. We got 30 seconds until what will be Mountain Soul for 100 Thieves, if they can secure it, spawns. PowerOfEvil getting away from Closer there with that blast cone. 100 Thieves with control over this bot side river. If you're Immortals, you got to make the call right now. Do we fight for the soul, or is this just an instant int that loses us the game and gives them the soul anyway? They're saying, all right, we got to fight for it. Revenge is coming in. It's a 5,000 gold lead for 100 Thieves. Everybody from their side is going to be here too. Huhi's coming in. Goes for the face breaker. He grabs a couple of them. Haymaker comes out, but Huhi's going to die first. Turtle finds that one. Ssumday's going to die now too. He goes into the resurrection. He'll be brought back up here in just a moment with Revenge and Destiny going after Closer. Ssumday's going to be killed off to the side. Abbedage cannot get away. He will go into stasis, but that's all he's going to get is a golden tombstone. Closer stuck in the enemy jungle. Here comes the bullets, baby. It's a 12-gauge death sentence. 4 dead for nothing. Immortals fight it beautifully.
I can hear the Immortals cheers from here, Flowers. They are pumped on stage. stage. WildTurtle gets excited. Yes, Huhi dunks PoE into the rest of the team, but Turtle gets excited off that kill. They finish him off, and they run straight through mid.
They're just going straight for the end. It's FBI and Huhi versus 5 players of Immortals for the next 20 seconds. IMT want their first win in 7 games, and they're looking for it here. FBI in the stasis, trying to buy himself some time, but he's already down. Huhi is down. Immortals will get their first win this year, and they'll take out 100 Thieves.
Let's go, Immortals. First win of the year for this team on this LCS stage. That one's got to feel good, too, against the defending champions who were currently 2-0, now 2-1, suffering this loss. Huge stuff here from Immortals. They've been questioned at every turn here with the sluggish start that they had, but they always kept their focus. Big game here from Immortals.
Hell yeah, boys, take a bow. You love to see it, man. You love to see it.
I like that the sponsor is progressive as well, and that's what the team has to be. They have to continue to progress, continue to move forward. They're making progress, and it's looking good here. They also drew the Ahri ban. Hopefully somebody forgets about that. You know, maybe when they're on blue side and you can't afford to ban out those specific champs, we'll get to see a little bit more of it. Do think after the changes, you know, Ahri on live right now is quite fearsome.
I just love the fact that final team fight, they played it so well, and they played it from a difficult spot. You're going into a fight where your opponents are threatening taking the soul, so you're already under the time pressure, and they're 5,000 gold down, and they 4-0 them. That's not just an incredible team fight, that is a perfect 10. And so, on that note, Immortals are taking down the reigning champs.